Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Busters Taste Challenge. Daylight is arriving here. We have two white, clear, silver rums from the Sazerac Company. This is SKÖL. Cheers. SKÖL imported white rum made somewhere. Has this interesting crest with a castle tower and a rum barrel. I do know it's bottled by J.A. Doherty's Sons Distillers, Owensboro, Kentucky. Well, Doherty's has not been an independent company since 1919, over 100 years. It was a pretty big liquor company in the late 1800s, early 1900s. J.A. Doherty started it. I think he was an Irish immigrant. Then his sons made it big. That's why it's called J.A. Doherty's Sons Distillers. But when Prohibition came in, this monstrous dictatorial atrocity of the U.S. government and the states in 1919, they just sold out. They say, forget it, let's get out. Now, here's one of the new kids on the block. This is Cane Run Estate Original Rum, number 12 blend. I've never seen a number 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 blend. It's now just called Cane Run. They dropped the estate. This is a little older bottle, like a year old. Bought this last year at Discount Depot on US Highway 90, business route, westbound in Marrero, the great Discount Depot. I saw this huge handle bottle. I had to get it because I was going to buy it anyway eventually. $9.99, $9.99 for this huge, beautiful plastic. Nothing like the thud of plastic, right? Then there's a big essay on the back. You don't have to look on their website. They pretty much have it all repeated here on the back. And it's from Trinidad, from the island of Trinidad in the Caribbean. But they don't tell you where the SKÖL comes from. I also have a SKÖL Gold Rum. Now, I bought this at International Market in Metairie, Louisiana on Barron Street. So I bought this on the east bank of the Mississippi River. I bought this on the west bank of the Mississippi River. $6.99 for a liter, $6.99 for the liter, $9.99 for the big handle. So both very cheap. Question, are they any good? Oh yeah, they're good. This one's dry white, so it's very dry. This one is more grassy. Now, people say, I haven't quite seen that on the website, but I may be overlooking something, that it's made from sugar cane, not light molasses, just straight sugar cane juice. It seems to be the case because it's very grassy in the taste. Sugarcane is a grass, and it's very woody and a little intense, and maybe you could say the word harsh. Now, of course, on their website, they talk about how absolutely fabulous it is. It's common in Louisiana. I don't know about where you live. The headquarters of Sazerac is right there on Canal Street, New Orleans, corner of Magazine Street. And interesting, Canal Street, there was never a canal there. It was proposed to be a canal. They were going to build a canal from the Mississippi River to Bayou St. John. That's why the street is so wide, but they never built it. And they just say, well, we call it Canal Street. The real name ought to be, they ought to call it Proposed Canal Street. That ought to be the name, Proposed Canal Street. Or Canal Project Street. Or never built Canal Street. Nice looking label, kind of simple, but gold, black, red. Looks nice. I like it. Probably hadn't changed the dang thing in decades. Need a little bit more Cane Run. I was looking up Cane Run, and there was a high school or elementary school somewhere in the United States called Cane Run School, and they had all kind of photos of it. It had nothing to do with this. And I said, oh, that's interesting. Not a whole lot about Cane Run. But yeah, like Walmart over here has it. How much does it run for a regular size bottle? I don't know, like $11. You can get the handle at Total Wine for $17.99. I checked the price there, $17.99, but I got it for $9.99, $8 cheaper. Crazy, right? Well, I wasn't passing it up. And like I said, now SKÖL. I've never seen SKÖL rum in this town. I see it here and there in Metairie or New Orleans, but not commonly. Now, what about SKÖL vodka? I see that everywhere. Every liquor outlet in Louisiana sells SKÖL vodka. It's just everywhere, and it's cheap. And CVS Pharmacy was running a sale. If you had the CVS card, SKÖL vodka was $3.49 for a regular size bottle. $3.49 a bottle. Didn't get much cheaper than that, but I wasn't looking to buy vodka. I've never had SKÖL vodka. Some people were saying, "Oh, that stuff's the worst. It's the worst." I don't know if it's the worst. I never had it. I can't comment. I know the SKÖL Dry White and the SKÖL Gold Rum are nice to me. They're good. They're not world class, but I probably never had a world class rum in my life, so I couldn't really speak to that either. But they're fine. Fine. They're fine. So don't have to worry about the appearance. They're both clear. Silver. Look like silver. I used to play for silver, but now I play for life. And then I was talking to Jack Straw from Wichita. He shot his buddy down. All right, anyway. It smells peppery and grassy and woody and nice and sweet. White rum can be a challenge to review. White rum can be a challenge to do a taste challenge. You know what I'm saying? Because white rum is sort of very low profile in the taste and whatnot. So it's tough. It's tough. Now, when I do the Bacardi Superior, and it's going to wipe these others out. It's Cane Run will have no chance. The Captain Morgan White, that'll be close, but I still think Captain Morgan will come out ahead. All the rest, it'll be even. Now, what about the two aberrations? Yes, the Caliber, you're never going to confuse Caliber because of its garish flavor, and I like the flavor, but it's bizarre, crazy, weird, strange, odd, and unusual. And it's that strawberry shortcake blended with rock candy flavor. It's a cookie. All right. Then you got the monstrous atrocity of mankind, the Rio Rum. Don't know what that's about. How would you confuse that with anything? It's just uniquely nasty. It smells like Monsanto Roundup and bagasse, which is leftover sugarcane stalks that are turning rancid in the heat. And those trucks come by around here sometimes, and if it's really hot, you'll smell it. Oh, you have to hold your nose. Be flies everywhere. Flies might like it. Okay, I can taste it on the fume. I can actually taste it more than I can smell it. The fumes get on my tongue, and I can taste the sweetness. The nose is very mild, and I think it must be the SKÖL Dry White, because the SKÖL Dry White is so dry. Oh, so very dry that you don't get a lot of sweet flavor. Now this Cane Run, I'm getting more of that sweet grassy flavor, but I'm only smelling it. Let's go with the taste test. We could share The rum, we could share the what? We done shared all of my hine. All right. Smells. I mean, it tastes standard. It's just standard, like basic white rum. It's like nothing particularly fabulous and nothing particularly bad. It's just nice. And that's what I noticed about the cane run. It's nice. I like it. It is well done. So some people would you know, criticize it. So I bet that's trash. I ain't never heard of cane run. That's some off-brand bull honky, you know, bull honk junk stuff, whatever. But no, because it is Sazerac, one of Sazerac's flagship brands. They brag on it endlessly. If you go to their Sazerac house, they be talking about, oh, cane run this, cane run that. Everybody, let's talk about cane run, cane run, cane run, cane run. Now, do they have some more high level rums? Yes, they do. They got that, whatever the name, I can't remember the names. One is Trinidadian rum. One is Barbadosian rum, and one is I think Dominican Republic. Those are like $54 a bottle. So they really, yeah, those are elevated, but they don't brag on it or promote it so much because I guess they figure people are not gonna lay down the money, you know. So they cane run is more like their Bacardi or their Captain Morgan. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, hey, give us a chance. We're really nice. And there you go. That is some wood there. And that is so dry, I'm getting thirsty drinking it. Now, I think this is the SKÖL Dry White. Now, Sazerac has a plethora. This lady, I'll tell you this story real fast. A lady was she was having a funeral for her husband who had died, and there was a family friend there, and she asked him, could you say a word? And he stood up and said plethora, and she said that means a lot. But Sazerac has a plethora of cheap rums. You know, you can just take your pick out of their cheapo stuff in every sort of brand that you never really wanted to try. Go to Walmart and get your Caliber. Well, I have seen Caliber at other stores too. That's a Bizarro World one. It's like Archie versus Punisher. I have that comic book. And they got the SKÖL, and they got the Barton, and they got the well, anything you could think of. They got all these lines, you know, they own all these lines of cheap that they bought from other companies, and they have rum. And Heaven Hill does the same thing. They got Aristocrat rum, and you can always tell it's Heaven Hill because they got that cylindrical bottle and it always say Bardstown, Kentucky. So you say there's Heaven Hill. Now Sazerac might say Owensboro. Oh, Kings Bay now, which is now made in Owensboro by Sazerac, Glenmore Distilling. And next time I go to Walmart, I'm gonna keep a sharp eye. And I'm going to look and see if Caliber has changed and doesn't say Caribbean Silver anymore. I bet you it's just saying Caribbean Style, or it might just say Caliber Silver, because I got a funny feeling that now they're going to start making it in Owensboro, Kentucky, because that was the big claim to fame. You know, what is my fortune? What is my name? And it is that they're now distilling again in Glenmore, because for decades they did not distill there. They just blended, aged, and bottled. But they said, no, we're back in the New York groove. We're gonna start distilling rum at first. They're starting with rum for whatever reason, and then maybe they'll expand. Expand. What is my charisma? So this is sweet and this is dry. This is sweet and this dry. Is it profoundly sweet? No, but it's sweet. Is this profoundly dry? I wouldn't say profoundly dry, but it's pretty dang dry. Why ask why? Just say Bud Dry. I used to like Bud Dry. Oh, why did they have to get rid of Bud Dry? But that confused the public, the dry. They didn't know what that meant, dry beer. And Anheuser-Busch and all the rest, they didn't really explain it too well. So I had Michelob Dry. That was a good one too, Michelob Dry. I got 2 different bottles of it. Michelob Dry. I guess if you went to Alabama, it would be Michelob Dry. I was drinking Michelob Dry. And of course, I got in the habit of drinking the Bud Dry. So, of course, naturally, they probably knew that, so they got rid of it. You say, you mean they specifically got rid of it because you liked it? Yes, they watched me through the TV, and the Cubans, and the CIA, and the FBI, and Universal Copernican mumblings. All right. So which one do I prefer? Can't really say. I like dry wine and I like sweet wine. People say, no, yes, that's not allowed. You're not allowed to do that. Okay. Like if I lived in New York City, I would like the Yankees and the Mets. But I went up there to New York City and they were like, no one in New York likes both teams. And I was talking to a Mets fan and I said, well, why do you hate the Yankees? Because they're the Yankees and I love the Mets. He was on the subway. He was wearing all his Mets gear. I said, but if you live in New York, you could have 2 teams. You could cheer on one and cheer on the other. You got the best of both possible worlds. One has a designated hitter, one the pitcher bats. And he was thinking like for a minute. Like he was thinking, that's a plausible idea. I could cheer for both teams, have double the enjoyment. I remember he's sitting on the subway bench thinking, or seat, so type thing. And then he said, no, I hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees. So he couldn't get past that mental, that thing, his upbringing. I was like, okay, doesn't make any difference to me. But, it's kind of funny. So why be fixated on dry, sweet, or why be fixated on dry? Why not enjoy both? I like both. Now, I understand if you have a personal preference. Some people like red wine, some like white wine, some like rosé wine. Okay, I like them all. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so that, da-da-da. You don't send me dry rum anymore. That is the Cane Run. It is CR. Ha ha. Ha ha ha. Never question my expertise. Never question my awesomeness, except when I'm wrong. But I'm only wrong like 40% of the time. Wouldn't you love to fly on my airline? We land safely 40% of the time. We got the cheapest prices available. I remember my father badgering me about getting a flu shot years ago. You need to get a flu shot. You need to get a flu shot. And then Channel 4, CBS affiliate New Orleans, WWL, started in 1958. Channel 4 ran this thing about, it was supposed to be a story, but it's really propaganda of why you needed to get a flu shot. And then they were commenting, even though the flu shot is only 20% effective, and they have all these doctors talking about, I'm like, 20% effective? That means 80% of the time it doesn't work. And I was telling my father, why would I waste my time getting something like that? And he was saying, oh, that's just a bunch of crazy propaganda. We're reading one of your magazines and all. I was like, WWL TV is not crazy propaganda. That's just that's mainstream news. Most of what I say here on this channel is coming from mainstream news, not, some Jones or some Birch or some, Anon. It's just regular, the news. And people will say, oh, I don't want to hear all that right-wing propaganda, some crazy website. I said, CBS News, that's what you consider a crazy website? They got nothing to say. I said, I know you got nothing to say because you're too used to dealing with other people on Facebook who don't have the documentation, who don't have the footnotes, who don't cite sources. I do. And I'll tell them, you don't want to go there because you're going to get embarrassed on the internet. And so they usually don't go there. SKÖL. It's nice. It's dry. You want something that's definitely on the non-sweet side of the equation. This might be one for you. Now, what other dry rums do they have? Honestly, I really do not know. What do I know for white rum? So you would have to do your research because I haven't, because I really never thought about it before this very moment of could I do some deep research and find out what are the dry white rums on the market. I really don't know. This one says dry white, and it is. It's not just some term on the neck and trying to sell the product. It really is dry and white or clear. Why it's got to be white? Clear. I like it. I still have half the bottle left. I would recommend it. I'd buy it. It's an unusual product, but it's very good. On the other hand, Cane Run is very good. It's a tie. They're both good. No winners, no losers. Everybody's happy. Everybody wins a participation trophy. Because as you well know, this channel is all about inclusiveness. Inclusiveness. We're so inclusive, it's scary. That ought to be our theme for Louisiana Beer Reviews, my channel. We're so inclusive, it's scary. All right. I mean, how many other channels do you know that had special live hangouts on Saturday nights called Super Inclusive Saturday? Remember? Super Inclusive Saturday. I don't know of any. I don't know of any. Could that return? Of course it could return. Fandango Friday returned with liqueurs. I got some more liqueurs. I got Yukon Jack Fire. You say, oh, not that again. I know it's all, they all taste the same, like they taste like Red Hots. And I got Yukon Jack Apple, which I've never tried an apple liqueur of any sort. Green apple. I don't like apples. I don't like green apples especially, but we'll see what it tastes like and all of that. And then, so we have liqueurs in the next few months, all those coming up on Friday specials, Fandango Friday. And well, that was a very exciting taste challenge. I said, I think I'm going to get it right. I think I'll be able to tell them apart because I know that SKÖL is distinctively dry, and it really is. Now, what's coming up next? What is coming up next? I'm trying to think. Oh, I know. It's Pantalba White Rum, introduced 1989, that replaced the old. It was an old rum called Pantalba Rum, made in New Orleans. Pantalba, not Ron Pantalba, Pantalba, named after the Pantalba apartments. Then something happened and it disappeared, and then they brought in 1989 Ron Pantalba, gold and silver. I think they make a 151. I think they make a spice, but really we only see the gold and the silver around here. We barely see it around here. Apparently it's very big in West Texas, some bizarre reason. But after Ron Pantalba, which doesn't look like they changed their label in 32 years at all, which is fine. Looks like a 1989 Ocean Pacific t-shirt. Fine, that's fine. I used to have one. I wore it till it wore out. Had holes in it. Very comfortable. 100% cotton. Then we have Caliber coming up. That won't be any kind of challenge because of its extreme eccentricities. So, and once we're finished with all these white rums in a few weeks, we got something so exciting. You say, what? Clear tequila, white tequila. And I got one, the #9 best-selling, one of the top 10 best-selling tequilas in America, and it's been around since the mid-1970s, and it's called Montezuma. Montezuma White Tequila, available at Walmart, Total Wine and More, Mathern's, and other local liquor outlets. Montezuma White Tequila, loved by few, purchased by millions, and that's the end of this live video hangout. Thanks for watching this video production